Okay, you guys, we are back to do another Queen Sugar. And tonight's episode really got the best of him. You need that. Stay tuned to find out more. Blow for the people.
You keep it.
Yeah. LY. Hey guys, we are back to do another review of Queen Sugar. Welcome to our channel. My name is Kourtney and this is my husband.
E-Dub.
Crap baby.
I'm gonna Riri have me over there. Go Riri.
Yes.
Yeah,
So if this is your first time joining, let me tell you what this channel is all about. This channel is about Kourtney and Eddie. We do relationship topics, reviews, and right now we're doing Queen Sugar. So yeah, relationship topics, child, we ain't done that in so long, but we're gonna get back to that. Don't y'all worry, we're gonna get back to that. So if you hadn't already and this is your first time watching, go ahead and subscribe because you're gonna like it over here. It's a nice family, cousin, aunties, folks you ain't seen in a long time. We over here throwing parties. So if you're watching us via Facebook, make sure you hit what, like, and follow, and on all social media sites. Do what, baby?
Subscribe. What? Comment
Down below.
See, Riri had me messed
No,
up.
baby, you be messed up all the time. That you don't even know your part. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. So it first starts out where, Ralph Angel's going to work and Blue is just basically, Blue has come a long way. And of course, he seemed on the show to be super smart. And he's talking about, the temperature and,
it doesn't have to be exactly 98.6. It has a range to go through.
Yeah.
And a lot of people didn't find out about this range until the pandemic. Because people taking their temperatures and like, instead of being 98.6, they probably, 99.1, you got fever. No, you still within specs.
Okay.
So that's the reason. Yeah. So yeah, that's where you start now.
So we go to the next scene and Calvin and Nova are waking up and they're eating breakfast. We thought we were going to have one of them scenes from last time. So I guess they got it together now. And I'm assuming that, I guess Nova moved in with Calvin.
That's what it seems like.
So that's what it seems like. Not sure if they said that or not. So he's letting her know that, listen, my daughter come. I guess I guess this is his house. He ain't got to conversate and discuss it with her. You know what I'm saying?
But, you just letting her know, no surprises. My daughter wants to quarantine with us. And, so he kind of gave her a head up. And
so she was like, she was a little taken back because, of course, the last episode we saw, or the episode before last, that, some racist things were said toward her.
From
and
the ex-wife.
Yeah, and they know, and then one of the children, I guess the son, don't seem like he too much care for her. But, so she's just feeling like, listen, is she going to be okay? I'm not sure how she's going to feel about me. Of course, they know me as a home wrecker and stuff. And she was like, well, what if Haley sent Kourtney? She got the name Kourtney. So what if Haley sent Kourtney over here to kind of spy on me?
I know why. Because that's what Kourtneys do. They like to spy, snitch, and drop dimes on people.
I do like to snitch, baby.
Yeah, you do. Hey, guess what he did?
So anyway, so that's what she's a little bit concerned about. But he let her know, listen, Kourtney not like Haley. She get the apple fell far from the tree, so she seems to be, not in that vein. And, he's not all that close with her also, but, hopefully they can work on their relationship. So now let's move on to Micah and Charlie are in the kitchen. And, of course, the Charlie up there got her little dancing on and stuff, popping them peas and stuff. And
popping what?
Popping the peas. Looked like she was popping peas.
Peas.
Yeah. And it, and it seems like that. What you tackling for?
She said popping peas. Yeah, I want child. I don't care.
So she was, getting a groove on and stuff because, of course, we know that the quarantine, once people kind of got adjusted to it, like when it first started, I was cooking breakfast, like shrimp and grits. I learned how to cook that. I was cooking, just cooking a lot. So, she was saying, she wished that it could the virus can just go away and they can just deal with the quietness and things slowing down and just enjoying, just being in a serene place, so to speak.
Yeah, because when it first started, I still had to go to work.
Yeah, you did.
So when I was on the road out there working, it was like time stood still. Nobody was on the street. Everybody was at home. I felt like I had the world all to myself. I could have ran down the street butt naked.
No, don't do that.
And then I probably got tased. It was just a different vibe back then. It was eerie but peaceful at the same time.
And it's like you can hear the birds.
Nature came back.
Yeah.
Nature came back. I'm glad you brought that up.
Or did nature go somewhere? Or we were just so busy in our bustling hustle life that we didn't hear it.
No, I think nature really did come back because you saw videos of animals starting to take over cities and stuff, running through the streets. Because, instead of animals being in cages like a zoo, guess who was in cages? We were.
Yeah, in the house.
In the house.
What was that?
Slob.
So, let's move on to where Hollywood tried to call his mom and he tried to go to the hospital to see his mom. And so, at that time, they wasn't letting nobody else in. And so he was like, he didn't know what room she was in. She's on the ventilator. And and he was just like, found the one that he's not sure if it was her and just prayed through that one, just stared at it. So, we are assuming that, she got the virus got her, but we don't know. But, I don't even think he talked to his mama no more since then.
And this episode hit home on so many levels because it was showing you different perspectives of how and what people was dealing with at the time when this things first started off. From the people being isolated by themselves, from the elderly, from the old, nursing homes, little kids going around the house, driving the parents crazy. So yeah, man, it's put me right back in that time and space.
So, so at that point, Vi was saying, I'm going to come. And so Hollywood was like, nah, please don't. I don't need to be worried about both of y'all. So, no, you stay there. You safer there. And so she decided to stay. So next scene is Kourtney came home. And, of course, Nova didn't know how she was going to be. And, when she saw it, I said, oh, this ain't going to be good. Because she looked at her like. And then she gave her a hug, and she was like, she liked her what?
She did. She read her work.
Right.
She read Noah's work, and she liked, she basically seemed like she's real liberal, real progressive, and that's the reason why I think her and Noah kind of clicked so far. But I still think something's gonna pop up down the road. I really think she's hiding something. She has some kind of agenda against Nova, so I'm not really sure about her.
But it's something that's
something just kind of something.
And I think Nova can feel it too.
Yeah, I think so. Too.
Because of course we just skipped that scene when they was playing cards and stuff, and it seemed like she was on Nova's side, and her dad was like, okay, now two girls against me, so she seemed to be. Yeah.
Did he look into the camera?
He was looking at the wine glass.
Oh, okay. He looked at them, looked at her.
And looked at him. They kind of left him out there by himself.
They double teamed him.
So Vi talked to Prosper. So she's, of course everybody's concerned about him. So she's trying to check on him to see if everything okay. And so she was like, I dropped some groceries off on the porch. And he was like, yeah, I go out there and get it. So she was like, listen, you need to go outside. It's just you on that farm or the land. So go outside, and stuff. He's like, eh. So he's like, I go outside. Don't be concerned about me. So anyway. she said, listen, why don't you come on over here? You know, Hollywood is out of town taking care of his mom. You just come on over. He was like, well, yeah, nah. Then she said, listen, I'm going to cook for you. You're going to eat good. You know, it's just going to be us here. You know, you can pretty much have your own room, blah, blah, blah. What? Okay. So, you know, I love the fact that they're taking care of Prosper. I really, really do.
And that goes back to a village. They took care of one another. They looking after one another. And that's what we missing. Mm-hmm. That's what we missing. And I'm glad, like you said, the whole community was looking after that one man because it's part of the community.
Yeah. And then, you know, like you saying, that's the community. What you know, and it kind of goes to show that if we had some neighbors in our neighborhood, check on them, see about them, they was by themselves, you know, especially the ones by themselves.
Right.
You know, knock on their door. Now, we got neighbors that he be like, listen, we ain't coming out there. Me and my wife, we ain't finna touch nothing. Don't say, you know. So, you know, they're just that afraid of because they are older. Right. And as long as they got each other, you know they can call. Right. And if they needed something. But, you know, when you have a person that's alone, you know what I'm saying? That's hard to go through. It was hard to go through. And probably still is for people that are alone. Mm-hmm.
Sure enough is.
So let's move on to Micah and Charlie. They are talking about, you know, Micah is, you know, he's came home and everything. And so now he is in a place to where he can just, you know, him and his mom can have conversations.
Yeah.
And so they was talking about, you know, she was saying that, you know, she got pregnant with him, you know, which I didn't know this. When she was at a young age, she was right at a teenage age, and she had to go to college. Yeah, and she had to, you know, take care of him, work, and all that stuff, and deal with it. And when she told her dad, she thought that he was going to be like mad, but he was like, you know, I'm proud of you today, I'm proud of you tomorrow, I'm proud of you yesterday. So, yeah, you want to say something on that?
He was a better man I would have been. I would have been, what? I spent all this money, you go down and get knocked up? Yeah. You know, just, you know, different times, I guess.
So let's go on to where Ralph Angel was working and everything. And so he met a man which is a resident of that nursing home. And I wrote down his name was Mr. Reggie, something like that. And so, you know, they having conversation. He up there doing, you know, the little boxing thing.
Trying to keep in shape, you know, keep his blood flowing, you know, boxing.
And so he asked where, you know, he said his wife is in the other facility.
Yeah, because she had Alzheimer's.
Yeah, the other facility.
Alzheimer's. How you Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's. I used to think it was called old timers, because that's what folks used to say.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm going, you got old timers?
Alzheimer's or Alzheimer's.
And the man said, yeah, I am like 80 years old. I am an old timer.
So, and y'all know if we said it wrong, y'all will correct us in the comments. I declare y'all list the dictionary, encyclopedia, Wikipedia, Google Plus, and Google.
I can't type no more. I've been typing so hard for y'all. My keyboard broke.
So, Ralph Angel comes home and Dolly's stressing out. She is on the top of the cabinet.
Bouncing against the wall, man. Ooh.
She like, listen, Blue, I done gave him all the activity, everything he do, he moved right fast. Through him, and so he up there like he got just shaking to the music and everything, and so she was like, listen. So it put us in the perspective, which I thank you, Lord Jesus, that I didn't have to deal with it. We didn't have to deal with it. Our children are grown, okay? And so we didn't have to deal with this, but, you know, really empathizing for the parents that had to deal with small kids and homeschooling and if they were laid off or if they had to go to work and still had to, you know what I'm saying? And that was a lie, you know? That was a lie.
That probably drove me to drinking, man.
and smoking.
No,
and doing a whole bunch of stuff.
I couldn't do it. Mm-mm.
So, I mean, and so he had to, you know, he was like, come down, and gave her a hug and stuff. He was like, everything gonna be okay. We're gonna get through this. So she was just like, I want to work. You know what I'm saying? The parents were like, listen, you know what I'm saying? Because I know when my kids used to be out for the summertime, I'd be like, okay, time for y'all to go back to school, man.
My nerves already be bad too, all that. All the stress going on in the world. Then I got to deal with the rug rack bouncing against the wall.
So Prosper did come on over and everything, and so he was happy to come in. She was like, "You got your own room back here and everything." So I'm cooking.
Mr. Prosper looking for that food.
Okay, she was like, "I'm gonna cook some dinner, finna cook food," and so it was just nice to see him smiling.
And just imagine what he was thinking about. He was in that house by himself. He's older. He was in that category that was affecting more of them than most people. Then you start to find out people around your age starting to die off from it, and you're scared to go out. You're scared to interact with people. All you can do is isolate yourself. Listen to the news every day and see how watching the news, seeing 100 people died today, 200 people died tomorrow. So that will play a lot on your psyche and your mindset.
Yep, you're right. Hollywood did Vi and let her know that they're taking his mom off the ventilator and stuff. And so she encouraged him, which she did a great job trying to encourage. And I was like to myself, like, how do you encourage somebody when something like that is happening? You just don't. She
did a fabulous job.
You just don't know the words to say. But she was like, one thing about your mom, she taught you faith. You got to pull on that faith that she had. She gave it to you, pull on it and stuff.
Yeah,
so
she did it. And I know it was a TV show. I know it was acting, but she did a wonderful job.
She did.
And just imagine, you talk to one of your loved ones because they got to take their loved one off a ventilator.
Right.
How can you talk to them? How can you give them, hope? And just man, this whole show, this whole episode, just in my opinion, hit on all points during that time. And you never thought about it because you live in your own little bubble.
Right.
So you just like, what this person here dealing with, what this person with hair dealing with. So yeah, man, this episode was rough. Rough.
I know it was for you. Get your tissue.
It ain't gonna be we ain't got nothing better to do. Try to make you cry.
Go Riri. So you was very emotional. Not saying it wasn't for me, but I think you was an extra.
Yeah, because I'd be concerned about the older people. You know what I'm saying? This thing was all about. This whole pandemic, in my opinion, was about you not being selfish. Because you're not looking out for yourself. You're looking out for other people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And some people just didn't understand that. And that's why they was like, no, I ain't wearing this, I ain't wearing that. I can breathe. It's not about you can breathe. What about the oldest person down the street? What about your mom, your dad, So, but yeah.
So, let's move on to where Micah and Charlie. He, of course, still around the house, and he helping her look for something in particular. And he went and went somewhere.
Under the room, house. He made a copy of the document.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was. And so, his phone went off, and I don't know how she hit whatever she hit. And so they was like, the girl was like, are you coming to the party?
Ooh, party! Ooh, yeah! Shot!
And so he walked in, he was like, what are you doing? Why are you going through my phone and stuff? She was like, I was trying to give it to you, but it went off and stuff. Right. Are you going to a party? We're in the middle of a pandemic. Are you actually going to a party? And so I was just going to stop by for a little bit and blah, 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 whatever. He's like, who is this girl, Micah? Who is it? And so she was like, is she white? And I guess, of course, Micah was into the Black Power, all this stuff. Yeah, so, it was kind of shocking that he,
He's supposed to be woke. And all of a sudden, you got woke, all right.
And then she was like, so you going with this rebound girl? Because Kiki,
they broke up.
Yeah, so.
But once again, they hit on a point about the pandemic. For some reason, the younger kids in college thought he was invincible. They still went to spring break. They still went to the parties and everything.
The beaches.
And went to the beaches and everything. And this was another point he was trying to drive home for that.
Yep. So we found out that Hollywood's mom did pass away, and so Avi told Prosper about it and everything. And
he freaked out, basically.
Prosper was, so she was like, we're going to get through this, because he was like, man, it's older people my age dying. 5 people done died around him and stuff. He was like, it made him, more nervous. Yeah. So Ralph Angel was talking to the resident. And so Mr. Reggie, yeah. And he was talking about, Mr. Reggie looked like he was kind of down and stuff. So he asked him, are you okay and stuff? He said, you know what? You want to say that part? Back in the day?
Yeah, he was saying, Mr. Reggie said, back in the day, you were trying to basically, get your shine on, look at me, get the big house, big car. But all you want in life is somebody to hold your hand, somebody to rub your back, somebody you can love and they love you back. That's all.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. All the stuff you can have, money, fame, that's all you really want in life. And what happened was that pandemic basically took that away from him, because it was his birthday and his wife couldn't pay him a visit. And, it affected him.
Yep, and it affected you too.
They gonna repeat.
And so he said, listen, Mr. Reggie, okay, it's your birthday. Look, basically he was saying, we're going to turn up. I'm going to throw your birthday party. He's like, nah, man. He said, nah, yes, I am. I'm going to do something for you. I'm going to throw your birthday party and stuff. He said, you know what? Your name should be Goodheart. Yeah. Ralph Angel, but your name should be Goodheart, because he got a good heart. Man. He's like, you young man. He said, you doing some things for yourself.
Why people can't be a lot? Well, I know some people out there like that, but why the majority of the people can't be that way? Show your fellow man some compassion. You don't know what he's going through or she's going through. Show that person some compassion, and the world will be a better place.
And excuse me, if I can say that, that's my husband's theme right there. Compassion. Ever since I met him, he said, if people would just show the brother man, just like that, brother man some compassion, the world would be a better place. Ever since I met him.
Yeah, man. And so he showed that his this older guy, this older gentleman, he showed him some compassion because he saw he was down. You don't know what a person going through. But to me, that scene, it was spot on, and I teared up a little bit, man, because it was like, all right, man. Like you said, maybe there's still some hope in this world. That part right there really got me. Because that's all a person needs to see is somebody showing some compassion and love to one another, and they can hold on to that hope.
Yep. And then moving forward, he said he was going to throw him a party, but he said, listen, man went to sleep. He said, listen, wake up, Mr. Reggie, I got a surprise. But I don't like surprise. Just come to the...
That's how I'm going to be going, oh, man, leave me alone.
Yes. I don't like surprise. So he said, just come here. I promise you, just come. So anyway, he went to the window, and his wife was there, and he was like, oh, man, I miss you. Of course, they got to talk between the glass and stuff, but he was able to get his wife there so they can,
like I said, I know it's a TV show, I know, but still, that was a good scene. This whole episode was like point on for me.
And it stuck with Ralph Angel. It stirred something in him till he went home, took off his clothes, and just kind of cried in Darla's lap. And he was like, listen, you my soulmate, ain't you? It's like, time's short, we're in the midst of a pandemic, so much stuff going on. And, I just want to be, just be with you. So he was like, listen, let's go and get married. We were trying to plan a wedding. Let's just forget all that. Let's go and get married. Right. And so she was like, oh my goodness. So she was like, let's do it tomorrow. So,
but Ralph Angel, he used the term soulmate correctly.
Yeah.
Unlike Missy, Essie, and Maria.
So, moving on to where Charlie apologized to Michael, because I did leave this out, but she said, you just like your daddy. You're going to be just like your daddy. So
I'm telling you, for a man or a woman, regardless, if your parent was a bad parent and the other parent said, you just like your mama or you just like your dad, Those fighting words, man.
Hurt.
Yeah.
And so she did apologize, for him saying that. And she did go on to explain, how she put his daddy out when they were younger and stuff like that. And she apologized to him for that because it just seemed like he wasn't pulling his weight. But he had school. He was doing so much.
Yeah, basketball and all that. So he was trying to, basically he was spread it too thin. And she didn't understand that at first.
Yeah.
Then I guess you realize, he is going a full-time student, playing basketball on the road, I guess I cut him some slack, so she took him back. And so
she said, just like I'm apologizing to you. And so it really hurt him. And he was like, why did you say that to me? She said, it's just that you're growing up, you're a young man. And I just really and truly think that she said that because she don't want him to be like his dad. And like, you don't want to be caught up in all these women, these groupies and all this stuff.
Yeah, I think it's part of another part is like she said, I seen you off to school as a young man, as my son or as my child. Now you come back as a man. Basically, I'm losing my boy.
Mm-hmm.
You see your child grow up in front of you. You don't want to lose that innocence. Now here we go. Got this girl on the phone. Ooh, where you at the party?
You don't trust her.
Yeah. Then you going in to have sex with her? Now all that's hitting home that he's not a little boy no more.
Right. One thing that Nova and Calvin, they're talking and everything, and so Nova is just don't want Calvin to not know that what they're doing as far as being in a relationship, an interracial relationship, is very serious. And so she was like, once we get out this quarantine, it's gonna be hard. You got the protesters, you got all these rallies and stuff, and they just not favorable right now. And so he was like, it's always been like that. Now it's just louder.
But those are the truest words of the whole episode, and one of the truest words of the episode, because it's always been there. It's just louder now. Mm-hmm. So it's always been there.
So she was a little worried about that. But so let's move on to these last two tidbits of when Hollywood was. Well, I talked about that. But Hollywood had wrote a letter. No, he actually was going through, I guess he was still at his mama's house. Yeah. So he was going through some things, and he had wrote a postcard to her when he was on the road and traveling and stuff. And he just read that out loud. And it just reminded him of his mama. And at the same rate that, they got another scene where Ralph Angel is talking to his dad. He was like, Dad, I know you hear me. Right. I know you would be proud of me and stuff like that. I love you. So it's both of them. They're talking to basically the deceased,
But Hollywood, when he just started, you can hear him crying, man. They're like, God, that hit the soul right there, man.
That was his mom. He was close to his mom.
Yeah, he's real close to his mom. You can just hear him break down crying.
Yeah.
But man, Riri.
Go, Riri.
You had me grab a tissue. You had me trying to hold it in. Man, that was a very emotional episode.
It really was.
Yeah. Queen Sugar, y'all did y'all thing.
Yeah. Like always. And so you guys, I don't know if, of course our views on Queen Sugar is not all that great, but, we're just going to continue to do it because I enjoy it, for the ones that do watch it, we appreciate you guys, but we understand it's not one of the top favorites right now. Because maybe some people just really don't want to relive what took place. They want to move forward.
Yeah, I didn't think about it like that. This topic can be a little depressing, you know what I'm saying? Guilt, some people saying, and anxieties and whatnot. So I can kind of see why they won't watch it.
Yeah. All right, you guys, on that note, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Don't forget to do what? To make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you guys on the next video. Don't forget to go with God and let God go with you. Deuces.